Some houses hold things that have no business being there. Not memories, not drafts from old windows, not the kind of creaking that gets explained away by settling wood and changing weather. Something else. Something that knows you're there and has been waiting specifically for you. This is a true account. Make of that what you will. From age 11 to almost 16, a girl named Sparrow lived in a house that never left her alone. 4 years of doors flying open with no hand on the handle. Footsteps in empty hallways. Objects moved from where she'd left them to places she hadn't put them. The house was loud in ways a house shouldn't be. Voices just below the range of clear hearing. Sounds that stopped the moment she turned toward them. Both her parents worked long hours. She was alone there more than she wasn't. For 4 years, the baseline of her daily life was a low, constant, bone-deep terror that she had no way to explain to anyone and nowhere to put. The worst of it lived in the bathroom. The bathroom sat directly outside her bedroom door, which meant she passed it constantly. Every morning, every night, every time she moved between her room and the rest of the house. And every single time she passed that open door, there was a little girl standing inside it. Blonde hair in tight curls. A rose-colored dress that looked like it belonged to a photograph from 1905. The girl never moved, never reacted. She simply stood and stared with the flat, patient stillness of something that had been standing in that same spot for a very long time and was prepared to stand there much longer. Sparrow started keeping the bathroom door closed so she wouldn't have to see her on every pass. It helped in the way that not looking at something helps, which is to say, not very much. The girl was always there when the door opened again. And the strangest part, the part that lodged itself deepest and stayed, was what happened when Sparrow actually stepped inside. The moment she crossed the threshold, the girl was gone from view, but the feeling of her didn't go anywhere. The space in that bathroom always held one more presence than was visible. A cold company that stood just outside the edge of sight and watched from there. Despite everything, Sparrow felt something for that girl that wasn't quite fear. It was closer to grief. The girl seemed trapped, anchored to that small tiled room, the way a photograph is anchored to the moment it was taken. Fixed, unable to move forward, unable to leave. Sparrow was trapped in that house too, by age and circumstance and parents who didn't want to hear about it. She understood, in some wordless way, what it felt like to be stuck somewhere you didn't choose. Then things in the house got worse, the way they do in places like that, gradually and then all at once. And the girl changed with them. It happened slowly enough that Sparrow kept second-guessing herself. The girl looked the same. Same curls, same dress, same stillness. But the feeling coming off her shifted, darkened. What had once felt like sorrow began to feel like something watching from behind sorrow's face. Sparrow had spent enough time in that house to know there was something genuinely ugly living inside it, something that had no interest in her well-being. And the longer she looked at the little girl in the doorway, the more she began to feel like she was looking at a costume rather than a child. A sympathetic image, carefully chosen. Something that knew she felt sorry for small trapped things. The doubt this planted in her was its own kind of torture. She couldn't trust what she was seeing. She couldn't trust what she was feeling. She began to wonder seriously whether she was losing her grip on reality entirely. She was 14 when the question was answered for her, and the answer was worse than the question. A friend came to stay for a week, a girl from out of town who knew nothing about the house. Sparrow had told her nothing deliberately, understanding on some level that the truth would have kept her away. They were sitting in the bedroom when the friend got up to use the bathroom. She was gone less than a minute. When she came back, her expression was somewhere between confused and unsettled, and what she said out loud confirmed 4 years of fear in a single sentence. She had seen the girl. Blonde curls, pink dress, standing there. And before Sparrow could process that a second person had seen what she'd been seeing, Her friend looked at her with complete seriousness and asked whether she understood that what was standing in that bathroom was not actually a little girl. The relief and the terror arrived at exactly the same time, in equal measure. Sparrow had not been losing her mind. She had been right about everything, including the part she didn't want to be right about. That the thing presenting itself as a child was something else wearing the shape of one. Her friend refused to use that bathroom for the rest of the week. Sparrow used it as little as she could manage without raising questions from her parents, who had chosen not to believe in any of it and wanted that choice respected. The family moved out eventually, and Sparrow put as much mental distance between herself and those 4 years as she could build. She was 18 when she went back, accompanied by a friend, to collect a few things left behind. Her parents had been trying to sell the house for years without success. The property had simply sat there, waiting. The friend noticed something the moment they pulled onto the property. He didn't say anything right away, but his discomfort was visible, the kind that shows in the body before it reaches words. When the car came around the bend of the long, steep driveway and the house came into full view, the color left his face completely. He said he was fine. He said it in the way people say it when they are not fine and are hoping to convince themselves along with everyone else. They got to work gathering what they came for. At some point, he asked to use the bathroom and was directed to Sparrow's. He was gone less than 30 seconds before he came running back through the bedroom door, slammed it shut behind him, and stood there gasping. The words came out of him in pieces. A little blonde girl, curls, the wrong feeling coming off her, the absolute certainty that she was not what she was presenting herself as. Exactly what a girl from out of town had said in that same room 4 years earlier. Then something happened that neither of them expected. He went completely still. The gasping stopped. He looked Sparrow directly in the eye and spoke with a calm and weight that didn't belong to his earlier panic. He said the girl wasn't happy. He said she was not happy specifically with Sparrow. He said the message was clear, and the message was this, that Sparrow had left, and leaving was something she was not supposed to do. They took 2 trips to the car with whatever they could grab and left the property at speed, not looking back. The house didn't sell for another 5 years after that visit. No explanation was ever given for why. But anyone who has spent time in a place that holds something old, something that chooses its face carefully, something that decides who belongs to it and who doesn't, might not need the explanation spelled out. What stays, long after the story ends, is the question Sparrow never fully answered. The thing in that bathroom had watched her for 4 years. It had worn the face of a trapped child to earn her sympathy. It had let her believe they were the same, both stuck, both waiting, both longing to be somewhere else. And when she finally got out, it was angry, which raises the only question worth sitting with in the dark. If it wanted her to stay, what exactly had it been planning to do with her once she stopped being able to leave?